In this great country, out in the true west, just east of Kidd Peak, below Eagle's Nest, where the awesome mountains cast a shadow so dim, lies the town of Keeylocko on sweet Cherie Rim.
Parts of Cowtown Keeylocko look like any other working ranch. Edy Calico bought this land 20 years ago. His dream is to develop a special breed of cattle that's tough.
We want him to travel, we want him to be able to fight, we want him to be able to survive in places where man have wrecked lands, where there's not much vegetation, where it is dry, it is hot, teeth fly, rainforest, or wherever those places are.
He grew up on ranches in Oklahoma and Texas, and later, after 2 decades in the Army, part of which was spent as a platoon sergeant, he went back to school and earned a degree in agriculture at the U of A.
As a civilization, and this is one nation here that don't seem to have any concern with the land whatsoever. Absolutely none. They don't seem to care. The asphalt jungles and all other things that destroy all land that can produce things, that can produce food, but we don't seem to take that into account. Hopefully that we have an animal that can survive all the things until somehow man gets to understand that this 5 billion people and keep adding, it's going to have to eat somewhere and somehow.
He used to sell his cattle at auction, and nobody associated his brand with the color of his skin. But one day he showed up with his cattle and the bidding dropped, and he couldn't get a fair price. And so, Ed, what did you do?
Well, this fella, he told me, he said, you know, you ought to build your own town and settle your cattle in your own town, and when you don't like the price that we're giving. And I said, you know, that's a good idea, and so I set about to build my own town.
And why so many buildings, though?
Well, you know, one building would lead to another. We built the general mercantile, and then people want to come up and have events, and so we had to build the stage. And cowboys would tell so many tales and big tales, and so we named that theater after them. We call it the Line Hour Theater. This is the Historic and Chronological Society Library, and we do a lot of research here, and we have people that works that, finds books that's out of print. We know a lot about the different continents, a lot of ancient civilizations, the ancient Native Americans, the ancient African civilizations of Rome and these places. So we do a lot of our research.
And if these storefronts remind you of another western town, it's like comparing apples and oranges.
Old Tucson has a setting, of course, 1930s, 31s, 32s, 34s, and those areas. Cowtown Keeylocko goes much further in the west. The dirt floors and the old buildings, and we don't have all of that fancy scenery and things that you see in Old Tucson. Old Tucson's are actors, more power to them. You know, they're that image of Hollywood, but Cowtown Keeylocko is the real West. We are the way the West really was.
He lives by the code of the West, and those who come here have to do the same thing.
This is a place where hundreds of people come, and we tell them, you know, Cowtown Keeylocko does not have a boxing ring, but it has a jail, and for a long time, our jail was a mesquite tree, an anthole, and a bucket of honey. So we're no-nonsense people. We don't want to have time. If you got an axe to grind someplace, you need to grind it somewhere else. Because 2 things that we don't have. We don't have fightings up here, and we will not tolerate disrespecting of ladies. Those things will get you in jail quicker than anything. So this is the next door cafe. That's where we make our mule shoe coffee. And we say that mule shoe coffee, if you throw a mule shoe in it and if it floats, it's good to drink.
But how do people hear about it, though? You're out in the middle of nowhere. How do people know to come here?
Word of mouth. People now know that Keeylocko Days is 3rd weekend every October. They know that's going to happen no matter what. No matter if it's raining, if it comes a hail, a tornado, or what, that's going to go on. It's tradition now, and so they know that.
Lots of special events take place here. Rodeos, weddings, reunions, and all the proceeds go back into the town. And Ed, when did you build the saloon?
Well, the saloon was sort of, believe it or not, the last thing that we started
Really?
to build. You would think that...
That'd be the first thing,
You'd
right?
think it would be the first thing, but...
What do most people say that come through here, Ed? I mean, what seems to be the most, that impresses them the most?
Well, they say that the guy that designed this must have had some sort of nightmare. And he said, you must have some kind of weird imagination. I said, well, one architect. No, I see everything in my mind, and so it's not a blueprint here. I don't draw things, I draw it in my mind. I draw the saloon, I draw the whole town in my mind, and then we set about to build it.
And since the tragedy at Old Tucson, Keylocko's had a few offers.
So now they're kicking their name Keylocko around in Hollywood. That's an unfortunate thing that happened to Old Tucson, because we don't want to see that happen to anybody. We don't ward movies off. If they want to do that, we'll be open to that. It looks like that we're going to have to take that up somewhere or another anyway, but we have to still bring it forth with our livestock breeding program. We'll never give that up. So, keeps you going, I suppose. And when I die, they have to say, well, you know, that old fool, he probably died trying to accomplish something, and he didn't really know what it was, and maybe he was chasing something, didn't know what. He probably had already caught it and didn't know it.